Hi everyone, it's one of your hosts of Morning Edition, Anni Katz. One of the questions I get asked a lot about my job is what it's like to get up so early. I do get up a little bit before 4. I have a lot of friends who wake up a lot earlier to do this job. I don't actually mind it so much. I'm a morning person and I don't mind being done with work by 10 a.m. So that part's not so bad. One of the things I have to pay attention to a lot is just being really observant in the morning. Obviously, I've got to focus and make sure that I don't put orange juice in my coffee. And then once I leave the house, I really have to kind of turn all my sensors on, whether it's in the winter and I'm paying attention to how the roads are feeling or what's coming out of the sky, or the summer to how the air smells, if there's a wildfire maybe nearby and if it's gotten smokier overnight, if there's any police action or anything that I need to look up later about road closures. So that's part of it. Another part of it is that when I get to work, I have to be really focused because I only have about 45 minutes before my first on-air break. So that only gives me 45 minutes to gather all the information I need to kind of start my morning, which is your weather forecast, like I mentioned, any road closures or police actions, and that's in the whole region, not just the Eugene-Springfield area. And then also ingesting anything that came in overnight, breaking news, stuff that reporters filed late because there was a school board meeting. So I have to be really, really focused and try to not get distracted by, other emails that have come in that I can just handle later. So it's a lot of decision making really quick in the morning, like this can wait till 7, this has to be dealt with now. Once I start the show at about 5:45, which is when we go live, I am just focused on getting from break to break to break and making sure that I'm keeping up to date on everything that you need to know to start your day. So the pandemic hasn't changed much. I've always worked alone, which I really like. Actually, it's pretty quiet here in the morning. I think part of the reason I find it so easy to get up early is because I'm not actually interacting with that many people. Other Morning Edition hosts do have teams of producers and board operators working with them, but we're solo here. So that part hasn't changed anything because obviously KLCC is a lot more shut down now. There is a little bit more busy work in terms of how the pandemic's affected my job. Reporters, we tend to kind of stick to our own spaces now, so people are not supposed to come into my area. I'm not supposed to go into theirs, so that means that a lot of times they leave information for me on a Google Drive that I then have to bring down and load into our system, like if they write a spot, and that used to be something that they would do. So that's really the only thing that's changed for us. And of course, obviously keeping you up to date with any new information about the pandemic, from boosters being available to new variants that surface. We have to stay on top of that stuff. So I would never ask you to do anything that I'm not doing myself. I'm a sustaining member of KLCC. I figured out the magic of being a sustainer a few years ago. I don't even have to think about it, which is great because we have a lot of things to think about these days. Listener support is really important to do my job. We are a small radio station with a very big reach. So we cover a lot of ground and we cover a lot of issues because they're different from region to region in our state. And because there's not a lot of us, this requires kind of a maximizing of resources, either our own staff or my ability to do something as simple as subscribe to the regional newspapers that cover our huge region from the Cascades to the coast. That's everything from the Newport News Times to the Bend Bulletin to the Corvallis Gazette Times. And I know that seems silly, but having access to those reporters and those resources and being able to use our reporters that you help pay for, whether it's early morning or late at night to cover some breaking news event or just help me update the website because something big is going on, I couldn't do that without listener support. And of course, the world is a really big, kind of crazy place right now, and you help pay for subscriptions to programs like The Daily, All Things Considered, and of course, Morning Edition. And we use those programs to keep you informed about changes, whether it's a new COVID variant or breaking news from some distant region in the world. We couldn't bring that to you without your support. So thank you so much.